Hey guys, so for today's video I'm going to be sharing my MAC blush palettes with you. I had made a tweet maybe 2 months ago now, and I was just talking about how I had finally finished my 5th blush palette in terms of filling it, and there was quite a bit of discussion around it, and I commented, you know, should I make a video? And there was a resounding yes, and I'm only just now getting around to it. So I'm going to share those with you. As well, I have some like backups, which interestingly enough aren't actually the same product, but similar enough that they can sort of swap when I'm finished, as well as one that still needs to be depotted. But I'm just going to be talking about powder, blushes, and those that can go into a palette. So I won't be talking about the cream blushes, mineralized skin finishes, gel blushes, anything like that, just because I feel like there's enough in these palettes for one video. So if you're interested in seeing what I have in my palettes, then please stay tuned. So the first palette is my pink palette, and as you can see, I keep the dividers in with blushes because I just feel like it's a lot more secure. With the pans being larger, the chances of them cracking or breaking is a lot higher. And you will see some that, you know, have seen better days, but they're still functional, so we keep it going. And you may wonder, this is actually just a like a drawer liner. I got it at Dollarama, and it was $1, and I feel like it's a pretty good investment to keep my blushes a little bit more secure. Even with them being in the well, there's still a little bit of movement that can happen, especially if you travel with your blushes. So I just took the advice given by Josh in one of his videos and threw that in there, because I mean, you know, you're spending money on these blushes, and the last thing you want to do is, you know, get to a job, or, you know, if you're going to visit friends or you're going on vacation and open up your palette and something has shattered, because these puppies are pigmented, so when they do break, they go everywhere and get on everything. So anyways, again, this is my pink palette. This is Pink Swoon, which is permanent. Here we have Dolly Mix, which is also permanent. Looks, actually, in this palette doesn't look like much, but if you go to a counter or a store, this will be the brightest pink that you see. These two are pro blushes, so they kind of like make everything else look dull. Yeah, this is Dolly Mix. This is, oh, what is this? Love Rush? No, Desert Rose, excuse me. So Dolly Mix, Desert Rose. I believe this is also permanent, but it may have been recently discontinued. You'll have to check. And then these two again are pro. This is Azalea, which is obnoxiously bright to the point of being neon, and Rhubarb, which is sort of like a deeper magenta shade. The gap in that palette is to be filled by this guy. This is Stunner. It just came out with the MAC Me Over collection. I was actually kind of surprised by this. I didn't think that it would work for me, but it does. So it will shortly be depotted and added to my pinks to finish that off. So this is my peach palette. It's pretty basic. There's not a huge range of shade as there are in some of the other ones. This is Cantaloupe, which is pro. This is Melba, which is permanent. Gingerly up here, which is my favorite I'm Not Wearing Blush blush. Fleur Power, which is my favorite coral. This is Eversun, which I believe is limited edition, but it has been released a number of times. And then this one right here is Pinch Me, which I believe is also permanent. The next palette is my warm palette. This is Devil, which is a orange, it is what it is, blush. It is pro, but it has been released with collections a couple of times. This is Peach Twist, which was my very first blush from MAC. And this is Salsa Rose. And this is Burnt Pepper. Both of these are Pro colors. This is Frankly Scarlet, which is permanent at freestanding stores. And this is Raisin. This is my Plum palette. Love using this in the winter. It gets a lot more usage then, actually. This is X Rocks, which was limited edition from quite a while ago. This is Plum du Bois. Here we have Love Rush, which I can't remember. I want to say that Love Rush is permanent, but you'll have to double check on that. This is On a Mission, which was limited edition. This is Sweet as Cocoa, and this is House Wine, which is Pro. And then finally, the last palette. This is my probably most used palette. These are my neutrals. They get used frequently for highlighting and contouring, which is why they're used so frequently. I highlight and contour almost every time I put on makeup, so I'm generally reaching for this palette in some shape or form. Here we have Otherworldly, which is limited edition. Light Sweep, which is actually a sculpting powder. It's a Pro only item. I believe it's been released in larger compacts that have one half highlight and the other half contour, but these pans themselves again are Pro only, and I like to use this as more of a satin, more subtle highlight as opposed to the sort of shine of Otherworldly. Format is a really gorgeous bronzer. It does have a sheen to it though. Tan Tone, as you can tell, is a favorite of mine. I use it all the time to contour. This is Blunt. Format is permanent. Tan Tone has been discontinued. Blunt is also permanent, and Shadowy is another sculpting powder, which is again Pro. Now, the last blushes I'm going to show you will be making their home eventually in that neutral palette. The first one, I actually swap it out by season. This is Emote. It has been discontinued for a while, and as you can see, it's quite gray compared to my skin, so I tend to use this much more in the winter time. And then I have this guy here. Again, I bought it as a backup. This is Clove, which was a Pro color, but it has also been discontinued. So when I finally run out of my Tan Tone, I'll be replacing it with another color that I can no longer get. Go figure. And then finally, we have Getaway Bronze, which to me is like a softer version of Format. And I just decided that I'll leave it in its container until I either just want to swap out Format or I run out. So yeah, it doesn't actually have a permanent home as of yet. But those are my blushes. If you have any questions about any of them, please feel free to ask. If you'd like to see a review of a specific color, or if you'd like to see any of them in a look, just let me know and I will do my best to accommodate. That's everything for this video. I hope that you enjoyed. There will be swatches once I finish babbling so you can see the blushes on skin. And until next time, take care. Bye.